Every creative idea starts off as something that feels like it can't be done, or it seems like it's an impossibility. But when you get the right people together, you realize that what seems impossible, little by little, seems more and more realizable. And I think that that's exactly what happened when we first went to Meyer Sound and spoke to Helen and John about this project.
Chad Smith from the Los Angeles Philharmonic and Yuval Sharon came to us with some amazing and crazy ideas. They talked to us about wanting to do something, for example, with H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, but using like different air raid sirens, locations around LA, or maybe John Cage's Europeras, like on a movie soundstage. It was all wild and wonderful, and they didn't tell us how to do it. They came to us with questions. And that's exactly what we love, is to be able to work with artists and collaborate with them on their amazing ideas and find ways to make it work for them and work for us.
For War of the Worlds, we actually had musicians at each remote site outside performing in real time with musicians on stage at Walt Disney Concert Hall. And so to be able to create something like a coherent musical listening experience was our goal, and I think we achieved that. It was not easy, and there was an awful lot of signal going in an awful lot of directions, but having the Meyer speakers on site at each of those outdoor locations was really critical to giving those local audiences a really compelling listening experience.
The creation of impossible scenarios is honestly what I would say the specialty of the production team at the LA Phil is. We really enjoy getting handed an idea that seems impossible and saying, this is not impossible. And luckily, we have the backing of the artistic department at the LA Phil, of the board at the LA Phil. We have the resources to be able to draw upon to make these kind of manic, impossible scenarios happen. And using the relationships that we have all over the world. And Meyer Sound is exactly one of those partners. There are many, many things that are rewarding about working with Yuval. He will not accept no for an answer. He creates ideas that are so original and so unique, and working for somebody who's not just trying to paint a wheel, but is actually inventing a new wheel is really exciting. The soundstage idea was brought up in one of the first meetings that we had with Yuval about Europeras, and that was probably two or 3 years ago, right around the time we formed the partnership with Meyer. And as soon as I heard soundstage, I went, oh, how could we possibly make a soundstage sound good for a live audience?
So soundstages are not acoustically lovely spaces like Walt Disney Concert Hall. So in many ways, the biggest challenge of doing this opera here at the soundstage was how to make sure it was going to be a sonically effective performance, because it still is about the warmth and beauty of the singers. And thanks to Jody Elff, the sound designer for Europeras 1 and 2, and the Meyer sound system that we're using, I think people would believe they're in Walt Disney Concert Hall. So the amplification and the Meyer sound system is bringing us into the sound of the voice exactly the way that John Cage wanted, in a way that feels like the geography of this location does not allow. But here, that impossible has also been made possible.
When John and I started the company about 40 years ago, we decided and knew that at the heart of our company was creating extraordinary experiences, working with artists and being able to help them create the vision that they have has been totally fulfilling for us. So for us to work with the LA Phil and Yuval Sharon on these amazing experiences means everything to us. So I really thank them for this opportunity.
In many ways, it's been so easy for the LA Phil, the industry, and Meyer Sound to collaborate because we have so much in common. I think we all want to keep pushing the boundaries of what we assume that we know. We came with the desire to want to push the boundary. And when that gets met with an equal amount of enthusiasm, before you know it, the thing that seems impossible is happening.